Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to BFL Reacts. Today, we're doing our Q&A for my 500 subscriber celebration. We're already almost at 600 subs. That's so awesome. I'm gonna put timestamps to each of the questions and a pinned comment for your viewing convenience. If there's something you're not interested in, or a specific question you want to hear answered, you can just go down there and find it. I divided this up because I got a couple of questions specific to some things I've done on the channel. So I'm going to cover those last, so the general questions come first. First question, how old are you? I turned 23 last month. January 7th is my birthday. It was kind of a surprise to a lot of my coworkers. A lot of them thought I was like in my 30s. I guess it's the big beard. But when I shave, I actually have like a baby face. How are you? I'm fine. 2021's been off to a bit of a rough start. I've had a lot of things go wrong this year in my personal life. But it is what it is, you know. I just keep on trooping, I guess. You know, things have been worse. I've had worse years. I just try and stay positive, or pretend to stay positive, and try and make myself believe that I'm being positive. It works sometimes. What is the greatest show you've ever watched? In order to avoid stepping on some of the later questions, I'm gonna just make this a live action show that I've watched. It's hard to pick one, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has definitely got to be up there. I think it's one of the funniest shows ever. Consistently hilarious and still going strong. I felt like the last few seasons have been a bit weaker, but I still think that is great television. Nathan For You is also up there, just pure comedic genius. Impractical Jokers is also really funny popcorn entertainment. You can find a bunch of clips of it on YouTube. And something that's a bit more recent that I watched, it's still too fresh in my mind to say if it's like one of my favorite shows, is Barry, the HBO show. It's funny, it's dramatic, there's some action in it. Bill Hader, just at his best. He's so good in that show. Out of every cartoon you've watched, who has been your favorite character in all of them? Hey weebs, guess what? Anime is a cartoon. And despite that fact, the fact that this person asked cartoon character, I assume that they're referring to non-anime animation. So I'll answer that with a fake anime. Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love her so much. I didn't have like the normal experience with Avatar. I watched like a few episodes as a kid because it was coming out like in my time. So it would have been prime like viewing material for me as a kid, but I just never caught it consistently. But when it came to Netflix last year, I finally got around to it, and it was so good. One of my favorite shows, definitely, and Katara is just such a good character. I love her. I love everything she brings to the group dynamic. She has my favorite moments. She's the voice of reason usually, but she also gets goofy. She's flawed. She can be like rude and petty and mean sometimes, but you can understand why she's in that headspace. In my opinion, I think Katara is just like straight up the glue that holds that show together. I think that she's without a doubt my favorite character. This person didn't have a question, but they requested the show She-Ra and the Princesses of Power on Netflix. I've seen She-Ra. I think it's a really good show. So no reactions from me on She-Ra, but I'll throw it out there. If you haven't seen the show, maybe worth peeping. Pretty good. I like the art style. And Adora rules. What's your favorite food? I like pizza. Pizza is just like such a good utility food because you can get cheap pizza. And cheap pizza isn't the best pizza, but it's cheap and it's still good. So if you buy like 2 pizzas, you can put it in the fridge. And cold pizza is good for breakfast. It's easy to transport. You can put it in like a Tupperware container or a Ziploc bag and take it to work and eat it for lunch. And then you can come home and have pizza for dinner. I could live off of pizza, dude. Pizza rocks. Shout out Little Caesars. Favorite anime? Neon Genesis Evangelion. This show, I watched it when I was like 18, and it straight up like had a huge effect on me as a person and how I consume art. Before Eva, I was like kind of dismissive of like pretentious shit, but Eva just like really opened my eyes and changed the way that I consume art. The characters are all great, very damaged and flawed, but Asuka and Shinji just are very relatable for me as someone that has struggled with mental health issues. It's got laughs, it's got action, it's got the best character writing ever, it's got drama, it goes into these weird scenes where it gets very surreal and it's just masterfully done. The music in the show is also great. It's obviously got the iconic opening theme song, but also just the music throughout the show is really good. I think that the sequel/finale film, The End of Evangelion, is also a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10 for me and my favorite movie of all time. Evangelion is just great. You should watch it. Now, kids watching this channel, Ava tackles some pretty mature themes. And I'm not telling you to watch it, so your parents can't blame me. But it is on Netflix. As far as how to watch this show goes, I would either watch the Japanese audio with subtitles or the original 90s English dub. The 90s English dub has a lot of issues, but I think that the core cast of like the three main characters, Asuka, Shinji, and Misato, is like perfect casting. And while some of the other characters are goofy sounding 90s dub level stuff, the performance of that main cast just really carries and makes it worth watching. That's my favorite way to view the show. Netflix has a dub on their service that I'm not really a big fan of. And also, the subtitles on the Netflix version are a little weird. So maybe the best way to watch the show is finding it somewhere else, if you get what I'm saying. But if you don't want to do that, then by all means watch it subbed on Netflix or the Netflix dub. Just watch the show. It's great. So watch the show and then the movie The End of Evangelion. Honorable mentions: Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Toradora, Madoka Magica, Keion, Higata HK. I have a pretty diverse taste in anime. I like a lot of stuff. I was a pretty hardcore weeaboo in my high school days. I'd just watch anime all day, every day. And I don't really do that anymore. Oh yeah, Konosuba also on that list. That's a great comedy. Best isekai show, easily. But yeah, I still love anime, and I don't really watch it terribly frequently, just because I have a lot of responsibilities and stuff to do. But I do want to bring anime to this channel, and we're catching up on Amphibia, and so when I'm doing weekly Amphibia reactions to new episodes, I'm thinking of maybe having 2 shows running simultaneously with 1 episode a week of each, and then some Hololive sprinkled in. I think that'd be pretty good. Also, Space Dandy is fantastic. What do you know about Dungeons & Dragons? I know that Dungeons & Dragons is awesome. In high school, I had a group of people that I played with every week, or no, every other week, and we played for a couple years, having a campaign running that entire time. And it was a blast. It was so fun. It's something where a group of people with different, backgrounds and personalities can just get together and bond over some good old roleplay and RNG. It's great. It's a great way to make friends. If you're not too introverted, you can make some cool new friends. But if getting with a bunch of new people like that is something that's intimidating or scary to you, then playing with just a core group of friends that you are close to can also be a really good time. It's been forever since I played. What do you know about board games? Monopoly, Uno, chess does not count. Why don't they count? Well, Uno's a card game. I've never really played any of those like big story-based board games like that. That, like, I assume that you're asking, because I'm pretty sure this was the same person that asked about Dungeons & Dragons. Not that I wouldn't like to, but I've just never really been able to. In elementary school, I had a Shrek 2 board game that I played a lot. Probably wasn't very good, but it was fun to me as a kid. But as of now, the only board game I really play is chess, which you say doesn't count. And I'm bad at chess, by the way. And Scrabble. I really love Scrabble. Scrabble is one of my favorite games. I love Scrabble so much. It's a blast. Getting drunk with friends and blasting music super loud as you play like the nerdiest game alive in Scrabble is such a good time. Do you like traveling? Where in the world have you been besides the USA? I'm not really big on traveling, to be honest. I have traveled, and outside of the USA, I have been to Mexico once in elementary school in the 5th grade. And as far as inside the USA travel, I've been up from, only on the East Coast really, I've been up from New York City down to Florida, but I kind of just like staying in my bubble. I don't know, traveling is really exhausting to me. I like the idea of it. I like, seeing new things and visiting new places that are different. That's super awesome and really important to like take in new cultures and have a a wider understanding of the world around you. But when it comes to actually doing it, it's just so exhausting for me. I'm a homebody, you know, and I wish it wasn't that way, because in theory traveling is so important and interesting and awesome, but it really just does take it out of me. How did you get into Hololive? I follow a Twitter account named Anime Girls Speaking English, and about 6 months ago, maybe 7, they stopped posting anime girls and started posting VTubers. Now, I was familiar with VTubers as a concept. I'd watched some Kazuna Ai in high school, and I was a bit of a fan of hers in high school, really. But I kind of fell off, and then I watched one clip. It was the Pikami, who's not a member of Hololive, funnily enough, the Kill the Hoe Minecraft clip, and it was just hilarious. I loved it. I loved that clip so much. And so I'd watch the clips that this Twitter account would post, and eventually I found myself watching some Miko clips from GTA and Pakora clips. My favorite clips that were really big in getting me into them were the Miko playing PUBG and she's diving and speaking English clip. I'll show it now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey!
Don't. Hey, man.
Hey! Hey, man! Hi!
What?
I am Japanese Elite Miko. Thank you, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Oh.
Oh, back to the future, okay? Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, man! Come on, man!
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus? Jesus?
And the Pakora clip that really got me into her was a clip of her playing like PUBG, and she was like commanding an army of stream snipers, and things were just going crazy. They were like crashing cars and fires, and she was like punching people in the face and stuff. It was hilarious. And then Weeaboo Facebook blew up in September with Gargura when she debuted. It was all the stuff, you know, memes were everywhere. So I kind of recognized it from, you know, that Twitter account and some of the clips I had seen, and I was like, you know, sure, I'll check out these girls. I think it was the day after their debuts. I watched all the girls' debuts, and my favorites right off the bat were Gura and Callie. I loved Callie's music. I was bumping it immediately. I was a big fan. And Gura was just funny, and I didn't realize it immediately, but I had actually been a fan of hers for a while. And funnily enough, one of my least favorite of the debuts was Amelia Watson's. She was just like totally like cracked out and absolutely insane. And I was like, there's potential here, but this is just too much. And then when the girls started really getting into their streams and kind of hitting their stride, Amelia Watson, baby. I love her. Which is a lead into the next question. Favorite member of Hololive? Amelia Watson, easily. I love her stories. I think she's hilarious. I like her voice. Out of the Halloween girls, her design is probably like the most plain and boring. But that doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I guess maybe the model really matters to some people, but for me it's all about the person behind the model. And I think that Amelia is just hilarious. Not only my favorite member of Hololive, but one of my favorite streamers in general. How many times have you died from IMA giggles? None. I don't know much about IMA, and I want to change that. That's why I started doing these Hololive reactions. You know, I had seen some of the Japanese girls in the past, but I had never really taken much of a deep dive into any of them. And I'm kind of glad I put that off, because now I can do that with this channel. And now for the Owl House questions. Do you think Amity is half human? No, I don't really see a reason that she would be. I mean, it's possible, I guess. That could be a little twist, but I don't think so. Do you think that there's more to King, or is Dana just hyping him up? That's actually a really good question. I'm not entirely sure. I keep thinking that there's gonna be a little secret to King. I mean, he really just looks perfect to be able to have like some kind of power up and like go into a Demon King form, right? Doesn't he? And it would be pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if we're ever gonna get that. It might have just been the bait and switch, like red herring from the first episode as a joke. I would like either way, because I like King as he is, but it would also be cool if he could have like some more, like a higher power level, and be able to have an impact in like fights or important moments outside of just character wise, you know? That'd be cool. Do you think Willow has a secret power? It's possible, but I don't really think that there's anything so far that shows an indication of that. I think that she's just a really talented with like, what's the name of her branch? Oh god, I don't remember. Well, she has like vegetation powers. That's a weird way to say it. She has control of plants, to a degree. I think she's just really gifted in that regard. Do you think Luz's mom has ever been to the Boiling Isles, and that's why she wants her daughter to have a normal life? I don't think so. I think that Luz was just a really like hyperactive kind of freak kid, a weirdo, as the show would say. And realistically, it was to a really bad degree. Like, she got her teacher bitten by snakes. So it's pretty understandable that her mom was like, you need to, like, chill. You need to chill the F out, man. But you gotta find that balance of, you know, not being destructive and disruptive to everyone and everything around you, and also being true to yourself. And I think that her time in the Boiling Isles has helped her get to that point, right? Definitely. And that's all the questions. Maybe I'll do another one of these at some point. I don't want to, like, do them too often, because there's only so many questions, and so many people asking questions, you know. Most of the people are here for the React content, which I understand. So, the involvement wouldn't be super high off the charts. Maybe one day if we ever reach, like, 2,500 subs, I'll do another one. I would say 1,000 subs, but, man, these Hololive videos are just bringing in a huge audience, and it's super, super exciting. So thank you guys, everyone that asked a question, and everyone that watched this video. Feel free to leave your answer to some of the questions down in the comments. You know, get a discourse going, that'd be fun. I'll see you guys on the next video, whatever that is. Till next time. Peace.